Green on Lowry. Lowry gets past, falls down, lost the ball. Thompson running the floor, and a foul. And Thompson grabs his left knee, now writhing in pain. Steph Curry slamming the ball on the court, so upset. Green went up to block it. Some of the players saying something. Danny Green saying, "I'm just trying to block the play."
This was during a pivotal Game 6 in which the Warriors were desperately fighting for their lives down 3-2 in the NBA Finals. And that was pretty much it. Because while the game was still close, it was one of those moments that just sucked all of the air out of the building. And we were left with this picture of Steph, exhausted and frustrated. And here he is just 3 years later in 2022, where he looks to be in the same pose, but for a completely different reason. After winning his 4th championship and first Finals MVP, after most people had pretty much counted the Warriors out. According to all the critics, this was never supposed to happen. The Warriors were supposed to be done when Kevin Durant left the team, because that was thought to be their entire identity. And yet, here they are, continuing a dynasty by winning their 4th ring in 8 years. And it was this 4th ring that officially put every single narrative to rest. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about the 2022 playoff run, what it meant for legacies, and why it destroyed any narrative that people had left. So let's get into the video. The Warriors are back on top of the basketball world after once again winning the championship. And like I said in the intro, that was an outcome that a lot of people were not expecting. I touched on this a little bit in my last video, but I just gotta bring it up again because this is a narrative video. And this was the biggest narrative of the last 3 seasons surrounding this team. Kevin Wayne Durant. Because for years we've heard the chatter that the Warriors' identity is KD. And the 2020 season in which the Warriors won just 15 games was enough justification for a lot of people. However, this narrative is just that, a narrative. The Warriors suffered some of the worst injury luck that I have ever seen in my entire life. It was so bad that I literally had a tweet listing out every injury that had happened just in a span of 2 years. And that was really their main issue, was injuries. They simply could not stay healthy. That's why I never really bought into the talks that they were trying to push during their trophy presentation, because it's not the same thing as a team like the Orlando Magic winning 15 games and then winning a title 2 seasons later, with all due respect. But it wasn't the situation that they were trying to make it out to be. They were going to be back no matter what. The question was how good they were actually going to be. And we finally got our answer. But although that time was really dark, we did get to see some of the pain that some anonymous players were going through after the 5-year run. This article from November of 2019 went into detail on just how much these guys hated Golden State, and it was absolutely incredible. There's an NBA player that evidently doesn't like the Warriors and wants it to be known that he wants revenge. So much so that he's willing to speak anonymously with Bleacher Report's Rick Boucher to tell everyone how much he wants to make Stephen Curry and Draymond Green pay for shimmying and flexing. It's a long season. Even if he misses 20 games, he'll still have to play 50, LOL. And they're losing 40 of them, LOL. It got old with the antics. Now that they've come back to reality, you want to beat the hell out of them and see Steph with that towel over his head in the 4th quarter. Yes, this actually happened. This was a real article. And so I think it's now hilarious to just go back and revisit those quotes, and I do wish that player the best of luck with their mental health during these difficult times. Because now the Warriors are back, and they did it without Kevin Durant on the roster. Like I said in the last video, this narrative never made any sense, and it's clear now that the Warriors never needed KD to win a title. Did he make those runs easier? Of course. But was he absolutely necessary for them to win championships? That's where I'm not so sure. And before you bring up the narrative, oh, they cried to KD because they couldn't beat LeBron. This move had been in the works for over a year before it actually happened. Michael Thompson said this on May 1st, 2015, 1 month before the Warriors would even face the Cavs in the finals for the very first time. The Warriors are expected to go hard after Kevin Durant in the 2016 offseason. It wasn't the situation that people have been trying to describe. They barely lost at home in Game 7 by 1 possession after injuries and suspensions. It wasn't the situation where the Cavs were just so much better that they had no chance but to go recruit him. And also, while we're on the subject, let's not act like the Warriors were the only team that wanted Kevin Durant. But I digress. And I hate to bring it up again, but that's what the talk was. And they also said that he came over and took over the team. This narrative got so bad that we had guys like Jay Williams saying things like this during the 2019 playoffs.
I saw something last night that I'm not speaking for him, but like for me, it kind of bothered me because, and we're going to show the video, Stephen Curry was on the free throw line. And granted, Steph is an incredible player. He's MVP caliber, 2-time MVP. Take a listen to what the fans are cheering. Why is that bothering you? Well, because now it takes me to the point where it's like, okay, could this ever really be my team? And I feel like if you're a basketball player, you know that's Kevin Durant's team.
Yep, an NBA analyst confused that a 2-time MVP is getting MVP chance. I don't understand. I don't understand what those seasons were. What were we doing, bro? But that's about all I wanted to say about that because I did talk about that last video. We now move on to the Stephen Curry portion of the video, because with him being in the playoffs again after 2 seasons, the talks of his playoff performances started coming back up. Every single loss the Warriors had, it was the same thing. They lost 1 game to the Nuggets and it was, oh, what if they blow a 3-0 lead? What if it happens? They lost to the Grizzlies in game 5 and okay, let me rephrase that. They got whooped by the Grizzlies and it was, oh, it's 3-1 again. It's 3-1. What if? And those talks just got very annoying because there was absolutely no reason for those to even be going on. They lost game 1 of the finals thanks to possibly the greatest quarter of basketball ever played in a finals game. And the talk turned back into, oh, see, KD isn't there to save y'all. Jason Tatum shot 3 for 17 and they still won, Celtics in 4. Every single game the discourse flipped 180 degrees. But the one thing that's remained constant throughout the entire postseason was the talk about Stephen Curry in the playoffs. And after this run, it's all over. Nearly every narrative that people had about his postseason play has been put to rest in just this one playoff run. Because most of these didn't actually make sense when you actually looked at the numbers, but now everyone has seen just how crazy these takes actually were. They said he needed a super team to win. Well, I mean, unless you have the craziest agenda ever, I wouldn't call this roster a super team. So that's checked off. He can't beat a healthy team in the finals. Well, I mean, Also, I know there are going to be those people that bring up Jason Tatum's shoulder and Robert Williams' knee, but about 6 years ago, I was told that if you're playing, you're healthy. So, next. He doesn't have a signature moment in the playoffs.
Pass deflected. Curry down the other end. Tatum in pursuit. Layup is good. The elite defender off the bench. Curry steps back. 3-pointer. Got it. Curry, another long distance shot. It's good. In the playoffs, his pool misses that one since way back in 2. Curry. Oh, Curry. Gets some contact. Layup. Got it.
The ball. He said we just had 7 assists in that first half.
Tatum. Curry launches a 3. It's good. Curry. It's good.
Some second shots.
Curry again. Oh! Peyton had all the time in the world. Curry 3-pointer. Puts it in. Curry now has Williams on him. Looking to unload it. Flips it up. Shot is good. Back to Curry. Step back. 3-pointer. Bang! Steph Curry drills the 3. That's a 6-point Warriors lead. Timeout Boston.
Okay. He's a front runner and only scores when it's a double-digit lead. Or just not clutch. Well, fun fact, Stephen Curry actually led the 2022 playoffs in clutch points, and besides Ja Morant, who was in second, it really wasn't even close. It was literally Steph Curry, Ja Morant, and then the rest of the league. Check. And I actually got an idea while writing this because I feel like it's one thing to disprove the narratives with stats or footage, but it's another thing to disprove them with charts. And I'm gonna do just that. Because I'm about to show some charts for this run and for his entire playoff career, and let's take a look at some video clips and then play a game called Where Will Steph Appear? Because a lot of these may surprise you.
You gotta, to be the greatest shooter, you gotta have those moments when people go, wow, I can't believe Steph knocked that down and won the game. They don't do that. It's like, what? Oh, Steph, he missed another one. Go look at the videos. They're all over YouTube. All the misses when the Warriors need them most.
How many times he scored 48 points in a conference final? 0. How many conference finals games Trae Young has played in? Like, as soon as he gets there, the first time he gets there, game 1, does something Steph's never done in his entire career, because he's fearless under pressure. Steph is careless under pressure.
But it just crossed my mind, is like, he still hasn't had that kind of big put the team on your back in the finals moment. If he wins another finals, I'm wondering what you think that does for how we think about him, or is he already at the highest level? Can we not do anything else with like how we feel about Steph Curry?
But with the money on the line, he's better. There's some players who stay the same under pressure, some players who get worse, some players who get better. Steph has been consistently throughout his career a lesser version of himself in the finals with the money on the line. I'm not making it up, and I don't like to say it, but the truth is the truth.
We're not even to Thanksgiving yet, so I'm waiting to see, because I want to see even in the play-in game and then the first game where they had 2 shots.
Yeah, the Lakers and then they played Memphis.
Well, go look at what he didn't do down the stretch of those 2 games against Lakers and then Memphis. Go look at what happened, because the Memphis games goes to overtime. He just no-showed down the stretch of both games. I'll get deeper into it, but I just need to see him come up 6 feet 3 inches big instead of smaller than he actually is.
And so I think that covers just about everything. There's absolutely nothing that anyone can say about this man anymore. Everything we asked of him, he's already done. And it's time that we start recognizing him as an all-time great player, rather than just the greatest shooter. Because simply calling him the greatest shooter ever doesn't even begin to describe the type of player that he actually is. He is, officially, a top 10 player of all time, in my opinion. And he has absolutely nothing left to prove. But I imagine that people will still come up with something after all the hype from this ring is blown over. But that's about it for me. I want to know what you guys think. Where do you have him ranked all time after this run? And do you think the Warriors have a chance to win another one with this core before all is said and done? Let me know what you think. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to be notified when I upload, comment down below what you want to see next, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.